Welcome to Redding, California. This is in Shasta County, and my name is Ian Utile, and I'm going to take you on a little walk. So this is the Sheraton Hotel. This is Mosaic Restaurant. This is a big improvement for what was here when I first started coming to Redding all the time. I started coming here consistently about 2016, and at that point there's only 3-star hotels to stay at. There's no conference center outside of the Civic Auditorium, and this is a massive difference that's now here in this place. And so I'm just going to take you for a walk and just kind of talk a bit about Redding, Shasta County, some of the things that I would love to see happen here, and some of the things I'd love to be involved with. And part of it is just we're seeing how far we can go with live streaming. Right now, if you go on Instagram.com/Ian Utile, you'll see kind of the behind the scenes footage of Eli walking with the camera. And Eli has the encoder and the LTE card from Verizon. He has everything wirelessly set up. So I have a little microphone right here that's tied in, and I'm free of wires, and so is he. And basically we can just walk through this beautiful part of Shasta County. And so as I'm walking, you can kind of see the Sheraton Hotel behind me. Today, there is the first annual venture conference. And my friends put this event on. That's Luke Miner and Eric Hyatt and Joshua Johnson and the folks at the EDC, Todd Jones and Tony. I saw the mayor, Julie Winters, was there, and lots of wonderful friends. There's a handful of companies that are pitching. I believe they'll make those pitches available for investors that are interested in investing in this community, which I highly recommend, to invest in the startups and the entrepreneurs that are here. And so that's been a really fun part of today. But also just having this hotel here is a big improvement for Shasta County, because now there's a 4-star hotel that people can do events. So as I start thinking through all the events that I have, that I want to do in this region, I now have a really awesome place to do so. In addition, this restaurant's great. Like, that was a huge improvement to have a high-end restaurant to be able to bring friends and clients to. And so there's just a lot that you're kind of visually seeing behind me as I'm walking. Now what we're doing is we're walking over the Sundial Bridge, because I just thought it'd be fun to show my friends that are local, like, hey, you could actually do this, right? It's technically possible to set up professional audio and video equipment, set up professional encoders for live streaming, because right now we're live streaming to my YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. So you might be seeing this on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, and it's live. Like, this is live right now, right? As you're watching it, same time that you see. It's 2:22 Pacific Standard Time, and so this is a live moment that if you sent me a text message, although I don't have my phone in my hand, I would get it and I could respond to you. And so we're going to walk over to the Sundial Bridge. We'll walk back and forth one time, and I'll just kind of talk, as I said, a bit about some of the things that are on my heart. Now, part of this is going live, giving an example to my friends that are here, like, hey, you could be doing this. This is technically possible. Also, part of it is capturing some of my thoughts today. Now, whether that's something I use and I cut up to be reposted on social media over the course of the next days, weeks, seasons, years, or if my great grandkids are interested in what I was doing at this period of time of my life, then I have the ability to have this archive footage living on all these multiple platforms. I'm very excited about the ability to have decentralized platforms pretty soon, where before you know it, I will have not just Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram and Spotify, but I'll have the ability to have these types of things live across servers that you could never really get the content to be removed. Steam is an example of that, right? You see some of the advancements with the team at the Brave browser company with what they're doing. Like, there's some organizations that are doing things with decentralization that's very exciting. So let me talk a bit about Redding. I live in Santa Cruz, one of those beautiful places in the world. It's perfect for a man my size. I'm well insulated, and so I run warm, and so I prefer not to be in the 90+ degree baking weather of today. I think it's like 91 or so. It's dry, so it's a nice climate. But on top of the weather being warm, like during the summer, it gets 110 here. It's very warm for me. Santa Cruz is like 67 degrees, sunny, 300 days a year. It's the best. And then I work in San Francisco. I have companies in Santa Cruz, San Jose, San Francisco, and here in Redding that I'm a partner in. Some that I started, some that I just partnered with after they launched. My attraction to Redding was, probably initially was because of some of the business stuff that I was doing here, partnering with other investors that were doing investments and deploying capital here locally in real estate, as well as in different companies that I thought would be fun to be a part of. Then I started a tech company called WMVI. It just stands for We Magnify Voice for Attention and Influence. And we built our first product about a year and a half ago. And that product was a content management system for the voice device platforms like Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, things like that. And so what you have is you have this experience of me being here with some co-investors, experience being here, launching a tech company. And then I also was able to get involved in the nonprofit community. There's an organization here, for anybody that's local knows of it, Bethel. In fact, people all around the world know about Bethel. There's 84 different expressions of the Bethel organization, and so I had the continued enjoyment of being able to be part of that community and to be able to work on fun projects with the leadership team there. And so I've continued to come up to Redding. I think since early 2016, the last 3.5 years or so, I think I've done a couple hundred round trips here, which may seem like a lot, but at one point I was driving up here 2 or 3 times a week. Fortunately, I had an assistant that would pick me up at my house, drive me up and drive me back, because I wanted to come here, do all the meetings, get all those things going, but I still wanted to go back home and be with my family, because for me, like being with my boys today is the most important thing for me. I have 2 little boys that are 6 and 10 years old. I don't want to miss a single day or night with them ever. And if it means doing the 9-hour round trip, getting up super early and coming home late so I can have time with them, then I'll do so. When I'm gonna walk to the end of the Sundial Bridge right now, what you see behind me is Turtle Bay, the Explorer Park. We're gonna walk over the Sacramento River. This bridge is all glass, which is super cool. And as we get closer to the sundial at the end of this bridge, I believe it's the largest sundial in the world, or large sundial in some aspect of maybe the United States, whatever it may be. And then we'll turn around so you can kind of see the whole entire experience. So as I got connected to being in the business community, being in the nonprofit community, I got to know some of the people that are also help lead some of the government type elements. And I just have and continue to grow this vision for Redding, California, and for Shasta County. Last year I did an event called the Future of Shasta. We did that at the Final Draft Brewing Company. And at the Final Draft Brewing Company, I think we probably had 200 people show up. I think I had 24 or more speakers that came and spoke. It was kind of a 12-hour event. It was quite fun. For me, I love being around my friends and talking about the future, and that's kind of what I'm, consumed by, the future, right? I believe in a Star Trek, Jetsons type future. Not utopia, but anti-dystopic for sure. And a lot of the stuff that is created is very dystopic, right? People look at Black Mirror, Electric Dreams, and all these kind of fear-based media and like, oh gosh, is that the world we're going into because of technology? I would say absolutely not. I believe the world that we are creating and manifesting is a world that is better for people. I believe that we're solving hunger, we're solving housing, we're solving lots and lots and lots of issues that have caused a lot of trauma for humanity, and we're starting to solve these things collectively, and it'll get better and better. As I'm here, one of the things about Redding is it's just so beautiful. It's hot, right? Half the year, but it's just so beautiful. Like we're ready to walk over the Sacramento River. And I just think like, gosh, if I could bring people somewhere in California, I wouldn't probably choose to bring them to Santa Cruz or San Francisco. I'd probably choose Redding. The cost to vacation here or to do a business conference or an event here is just so low. Like it's just so reasonably priced, everything. Also the talent here. People are very well educated, but they are underemployed in this area. So you can get access to incredible talent in this place. In addition to that, you have just the beauty of nature. Like I love to do something called disc golf. Piece of plastic, it's like a disc, and I like to throw that plastic, right, 300 feet into these basket chains. There's a bunch of disc golf courses here, which is super fun for me. right? There's biking trails and hiking trails and just community. Like, this is a great place for community. In addition, some things that people don't realize is, like, not only do you have this river that we're walking over right now here in Redding, but you also have the mountains. You have the Lassen Mountains and Shasta Mountain, and you have all the water around these mountains and all the water that flows down from these mountains because, of course, all the snow that is melting. But in addition to all that, there's actually more water in the water table than there is in the lake and the river. And so there's just a lot of benefit to this area. Like, when I think, gosh, I want to have a short event or a long event, like, this is a place I'd want to do it. If I say, hey, I want to launch a company or a project in California, I would choose this location over others. If I was a freelancer, hands down, I would be living here. I would not live in Seattle or Portland or Bend or San Francisco or San Jose or Santa Monica or San Diego. I would live here because the cost of living is like half, maybe a third in some cases, but you have super fast. And so if you're a freelancer anyways, you do contract employment, or you're a remote employee for one organization, like, you could live here, have the screaming internet, have the beauty of the outdoors, have this amazing community. Like, the Venture Conference is the first year they've done it. They didn't know how many people were going to come, but that place is sold out. I was just in there, like, the seats are full. There's great companies that are pitching. I got to meet many of the founders today. And so there's all this really, really exciting stuff happening here, and exciting stuff that I'm grateful to be working on, and amazing people I get to work with. As I think about what is to come, when I think about Redding, like 20, 50 years from now, I think Redding will probably look like the new Apple building in Cupertino. Low to the ground, but really high end, really well thought out, really kind of built with the environment, right? Still lots of trees, still lots of beauty, lots of community, lots of connection, but beautiful and, like, well thought through. Although this will never be a Dubai or a Paris, I could imagine that Redding could be known like a Dubai or a Paris. As you think about the different spheres of society, art and entertainment, news and media, philanthropy and worship, you could say faith, religion if you want, family, business, education, and government, like, there is different people that are doing really creative, innovative things, and there's different organizations that are prosperous, and they're making money, and they're doing great things in those different arenas. Like, this is a breeding ground for success, in my opinion. And as time goes on, Redding, California, the city, Shasta County, the region, will continue to prosper and will continue to become abundant over time. And I think people should be patient. I don't think that people my age, I'm 38 years old, I'm an elder millennial, right? Born in 1981. I don't think people my age should be so anxious to have, like, big things happen today or this year, or even this decade. Like, what about building for your kids? It wasn't that long ago that great leaders didn't think about themselves, their kids, their grandkids, their great-grandkids. They thought about 10 and 20 generations from now. Right? They built castles. It took 500 years, and probably in that time, billions, tens of billions of dollars to kind of build this monument that would be used for the region and for the city and for the town and for the community ongoing. And we're kind of, in my opinion, because of decentralization, we're going to go away from so much structure. We're going to have less structure and have these decentralized, autonomous communities that are run by the people for the people. I think Redding is a great place for those types of things to be created. I think technology will thrive here. Manufacturing will thrive here. It's a good place in many respects for agriculture to thrive here. There's a lot of opportunity here in this region that can be really, really, really cool for people to invest in. For those that have capital to deploy, especially, they're in the Silicon Valley, maybe they're in New York, right? And they have these different events in life where it's like, hey, I need to deploy this capital into an opportunity zone. Like, there's lots of opportunity zones here in Shasta County. And even just having... Thank you. Of course. There's amazing gardeners. Making everything beautiful. And it is beautiful here. I'll turn around in just a moment. You can kind of see this backdrop. But, what you have here, I'll turn around and you can kind of catch this McConnell garden area is super cool. You can kind of see the river. You can see the folks that are coming down. just having a leisure time on a Friday, right? Coming down the river, you see people walking back and forth on the bridge. You see how big, maybe you could show the height of the bridge. I think it's the largest sundial in the world, but it certainly is like the largest in the United States. Just goes forever. It's gorgeous. At night, the whole entire, this whole thing is lit up glass, the bottom of it. So we'll finish our walk going this way, and then we'll kind of wrap up this live stream. As I think about Shasta County or the city of Redding moving forward, I just want to encourage investors to deploy capital here. You know, you have this investor conference today, the first annual Redding Venture Conference. You have incredible companies. I'm involved in some that I would say are worthy of your investment, and I'm around more than 100 different entrepreneurs in this region that are building great things that I have either deployed advice. In the right situation, I might deploy capital. I mean, I'm very narrow in my focus of what I invest my time and money into, because I'm solely focused right now on voice technology, live streaming, machine learning, and blockchain. And for me, I'd really like the companies that I'm involved with to be embodying all of those things. And this is why I live stream so much, because for me, this process of live streaming with all this equipment it'd be much better if I could do it just with something much more simplified, right? Like just an app that would allow me to go live to all these different platforms at once. Or imagine if it was just audio based, if I could go for a walk with somebody and we could just maybe be mic'd up and do a live streaming podcast, you know, to all of my social platforms, all of their social platforms. What if our product, which we're working on right now, you could go to Attention Live or attn.live, and if you go there in the near future, you'll see the product that we have. And what it is it allows people to live stream content to all the platforms, but also own their own data, which is a huge element right now, is data ownership. And so as far as deploying capital, kind of coming back to that, I would just tell my friends and their friends, like, this would be a place that you should investigate investing into. The people and the businesses. Whether you want to invest into something that's really tangible, like infrastructure, schools, education, real estate, apartment complexes, dormitories for students. There's even opportunity with things like energy. Just look at all the natural resources and all the opportunity that can happen with public-private partnerships. But also technology. Like, there is an emerging technology environment here. There's a lot of great companies and service providers that are here to serve those great companies. And then we're only 3 hours away from San Francisco. Right? We're not that far away from being able to get to Seattle and some of these other major, hubs. And so I just think, gosh, if you're looking to make investment and you're willing to invest into California, I would say this is a really great place for that. My family has a cool background with California. I'm a 20th generation resident of California from the 1400s. The Pachecos came up here. They were Native American Mexicans. They came up here in the 1400s to Southern California. They eventually came up here, and then the other part of my family, the Moragas, and Lieutenant Moraga, he was second command of the Spanish Army. He came up from New Spain and landed in land where the Presidio is now at in San Francisco, founded that with a priest, 14 men, the women and children that were with them. And then he founded the city of San Jose. So that was 10 generations ago, 1778. And so my family has been here in California for 20 generations and in the Bay Area for 10. And so, obviously California is my home. And so it's really fun to be involved with parts of California like Redding that I see that has just phenomenal potential. And so one reason why I wanted to go live today was just to show you the beauty. I mean, this is a place where you could be healthy, right? If you walk on the Sundial Bridge and you're over the river and you're checking this stuff out, it has a tendency to help your mental health. People that are very spiritual might say to themselves or say to me, hey, it's kind of like in Redding as in heaven, or, the veil between the spiritual and the physical is very thin here. And it doesn't matter if that's something that you think about or believe, but if it is something that you think about and believe, then it does matter for you, right? Maybe if it's not something you care about, maybe you would learn to care about it if you lived in an environment like this. And so, I just think that if you haven't been to Redding and explored it, if you just passed through when you went on Highway 5 because you're on your way to Oregon, or you're on your way down to Central California, like maybe stop the next time. Maybe check out Turtle Bay. Maybe stay at the Sheraton. Maybe eat at Mosaic. Maybe come walk the Sundial Bridge. Maybe play in the river. You know, maybe go play disc golf. If you haven't, it's a walk in the park with a purpose. It's one of my favorite things ever. I love it. You know, I'm easy to find. You can find me on any social media site. I put my cell phone number everywhere. You can text me if you want. I may or may not answer, but you can. And, you know, let me know and I will, I'd be happy to meet you and play disc golf if the circumstance was right. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap up the live stream. And as I wrap up this live stream, you know, I just want you to kind of finish by taking in the beauty that is Redding, California, here in Shasta County. And whether you are an investor or a builder, if you just want to be part of a vocational program and learn from somebody, there's incredible educators of all sorts here. Like whatever you're looking for, if you're looking for that thing in California, this is a place to explore. I'll be back in a bit with one of my friends just to have a conversation and a dialogue together. And for now, I want to say thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed going on a walk with me.